Mark, an overall assessment, I guess. Are you happy with the point?
I want to start by saying, and I said it over there as well, a record-breaking crowd. It'd be remiss of me not to mention that. And thank you to all the Auckland faithful that came out. Thank you for everybody else that either flew, came by boat, walked, drove to Eden Park, because it was superb. I think they should have or be given a lot of credit for coming out and supporting this football club and the players out there tonight. I think it's always important that we mention. That's probably the most important thing for me, because we didn't really know what to expect. But obviously the ticket sales were great. But then until you see the actual number, I think it's just reward for all the hard work that everybody has done at this football club, not just the players, not just the coaching staff, but also the people in the back office who worked extremely hard throughout the week to make sure that, there was a proper event taking place. They worked overtime this week, everybody involved. So credit to them as well.
As far as the game is concerned,
you want to talk about the game now? Right.
No,
okay.
That's good. No.
That's secondary almost, right?
Are you happy enough to take a point away? I mean,
well,
the third time this year against Victoria?
Well, it depends if the half is glass, half full or half empty. Are we happy? No. We had a big chance to take a 2-0 lead. It was a fantastic counter-attacking move, and we were positioned in the right areas. We were hoping that would happen more often, because we worked on that as well. But it wasn't to be. They got a penalty, and if you look at the stats, I guess it was quite even in terms of shots, and almost 40 shots there as well between the two teams. So, I did say to the players, enjoy the moment, and make sure we entertain. Go and put it in a show out there, because you don't know when you're going to be playing in front of 20,000 people again. But certainly disappointment. More so, I was disappointed not so much with the result as much as we weren't at our levels. Right, that's what was disappointing. Certain individuals, probably weren't there tonight for whatever reason. I need to find that out. But we were nowhere near our best. I'd say we're about 70%. So that was quite disappointing.
Are you talking fitness levels there, or
no, overall, everything. So, like I said, I don't want to point out individuals, but like I said, as a whole, it wasn't one of our better performances. And I'll just leave it at that. I know there's a lot more that this team can give. That's for sure.
In terms of finding that more that the team can give, it's been a few weeks now. Like the last few weeks, the keepers have been making some great saves to get you in a different tie game tonight. Do you think this team can find that extra 30%?
Absolutely. It could well be a flow-on effect from the tough run of games that we had in the middle of January as well, and sometimes that happens, right? But we work hard on making sure that they are primed, for game time, and like anything, we're there in our position for a reason. And we're pushing the bar, raising the bar. We know this is the final stretch, and we're asking a little bit more from the players, and that's the challenge for them. But I'm sure we'll find the right ingredients to make sure that next week in Sydney that we're better than we were tonight.
One player who seems to be really growing it seems like there's a point in the season where he's realised that he can beat almost anyone who's in front of him, and has really grown from the attacking side of his game.
He has, yeah.
How is it sort of unfolded with him, getting him to have that belief?
Yeah, it's a good word. I mean, belief is something that we worked on quite hard with all the players, not just with Libby, and we work hard with all the individuals. We dissect training sessions, we dissect games, we provide them with a lot of information, we micromanage them as well as footballers in terms of their positioning, their first touch, their body movement, what they can do. But then they also have to go out there and release, any sort of tension as well. And we do that with them, We fill them with a lot of belief, and we tell them, look, you've done it once or twice at training or in a game. There's no reason why you can't do it again. He was superb tonight. He was. And another one that I'm extremely proud of as well. He's a fantastic kid. He really is. We gave him enough time in pre-season to make sure. And I told his father, he's one of the first people that I met when I came to Wellington as well. He was a bit unsure of whether I was going to allow him to further his studies, but I'm no different. Growing up, Mum and Dad made sure that homework and education came first. So he had nothing to worry about there. And the way he was able to cope with both of them is just credit to him. Like I said, parents should be awfully proud. And today he really stood up and I challenged the players, in an arena like this, in front of a big crowd as well, good players stand up and they create moments. He created a lot of moments tonight.
You mentioned players off their game. Was tonight also a lesson about handling the occasion, given the big power of the occasion with, I imagine, the occasions you've got coming in?
Yeah, absolutely. And I spoke to the players about that. In terms of our last messages on game day today, it was a good test. If I don't like looking too far ahead, but coming up, the run home, and if we want to be challenging and playing not just finals football, but we still do want a home final, and that's another thing that I challenge the players about this week too. There's no reason we can't do that and achieve that too. So this was a perfect example of recreating what could be happening down the line in a couple of months' time. So, like I said, we will reassess. We'll take what we need to get out of that game, and we'll make sure that Sydney FC, that we're best prepared for that game as well. But no, you're right. It was a good test for them.
What did you think of your set piece execution tonight? A lot of corners, a lot of
not the best. We had 13 corners, I think, and a lot of set pieces as well. But I think they had something like 11 or 12 corners themselves. So again, defensively, we did really well, and it's an area that we needed to improve because we had conceded from a few set pieces over the last few weeks as well. So we worked extremely hard in that regard. But we certainly have to improve, the attacking set pieces too. So it's another area of improvement, and we'll continue to work on that as well. But it's one thing positioning, it's one thing trying to outmaneuver the opposition and trying to change things up. I'm pretty big on, and I told the staff we want to be the best defending and attacking set pieces. We really want to mix things up so the opposition have no idea what we're going to do. But sometimes I think we just wanted to go back to basics as well and maybe just try and get the ball into a certain area and attack it. Sometimes simplicity is the best, right? Because I thought we overcomplicated certain set pieces in the last few weeks too, which didn't really come off for us. But we have to improve there. Yeah.
Frustrating you couldn't find the head of the big Irishman in the last 20 minutes as well with a decent delivery.
Yeah. I mean, he's not just there for that reason, but we wanted him to hold the ball up and get into play, and he loves attacking down channels as well. So we knew what we had to do when the big fella came on. But certainly we need to improve.
Just on the guy who did score, Rory, I think 4.5 games without scoring, a couple of penalty misses in there. How crucial is it for him to find back in heading to this last run of the season?
Yeah, very crucial. I mean, it's easy to nitpick and say, Roy's had a fantastic season, okay, and he's having the best season that he's had, and we're challenging him and pushing him even more. He was extremely disappointed tonight. He was almost like he'd missed a penalty with that second one that he could have put away. And maybe through over eagerness, he's gone back to help out his teammates to defend and, gave away what I thought was a very soft penalty, right? But I can't fault him for his effort. He's working extremely hard for the team, and that would have done him the world of good. So the message with Roy this week is a lot of positivity. He got himself in a fine area, not an easy one technically to put away as well, but he hit the back of the net, and it's going to do wonders for his confidence going forward.
You're off to Sydney now. Obviously, it's a hometown for you, being here back and forth a bit this season. What's it going to mean to you to coach this team in Sydney? And is there any chance there would a break the weekend after that you can use that to sort of help you with your family situation?
Yeah, I've spoken to Sean about that, and I've spoken to David Dame. We had a good chat yesterday on the back of all these questions that keep coming up. Look, it's not even about that. My focus isn't there yet. I'm still trying to take in this game tonight and make sure that we review the game as well as possible, and then we'll start previewing Sydney. Like I said, it's the third time we'll play against them. It's Sydney. That doesn't bother me. It's all about Wellington Phoenix.
You talked about him a lot this morning. What do you think of the impact of Honda for victory weekend?
He looked rusty again. He came on. He still has some wonderful touches though. We knew how dangerous he was going to be. We just didn't know if they'd change their shape, and they didn't really change their shape too much when he came on. But he seems to find himself in good pockets. He's a good player. He'll get better. I mean, but that's for them to worry about. It would have been great if he started. Like I said this morning, it would have been great for all those people out there to watch a class act. But they got a taste of him, didn't they? And that was good too. But more importantly, he didn't affect us or affect the game. So that's good.
And you seem to be a bit disappointed. The team's a bit disappointed. Does that show how far things have come? That a point against the defending champions
Yeah.
kind of isn't good enough?
Yeah, that's true. It's true. You know, we really believed that we'd win tonight. You know, I thought we'd covered all our bases really well. They were very well prepared. It was just about executing and the unknown about the external factors, how they deal with such a big crowd and things like that. But like I said, I think this performance and experience will keep us in good stead going forward. That's for sure. But we have come a long way. I understand what you're saying, but I think you understand me well enough now to know that I keep pushing, and they don't know how far they can go. And unless we keep we won't stop until we find that out, and we won't die wondering. You know, so every day is a new day, and every day is an opportunity to learn and improve, and we continue to do that. Not just the playing group, but my staff as well, and everybody at the football club. You know, we're all in this together. That's really, really important. You know, we've taken a few steps forward as a football club, but we continue to rise.
Just back on the crowd, to have a crowd like that in Auckland, which is obviously not the team's hometown, you've talked a bit about how you think you can have an impact on football more generally in New Zealand. You know, what sort of inspiration does seeing this crowd come out in Auckland give you about what you could possibly achieve?
It tells me that that's the basis of us, you know, in terms of what we're trying to achieve here as well. So there's a lot of positivity, and there should be positivity about the game. There should be, you know. If I was to sort of give you any sort of feedback, and I understand, you know, the cynicism and everything else like that, I don't get it. I'm not one for it, right? But that's just me, and you can continue down that path if you want to. But that's fine. It won't change the way I think, the way I behave, how I wake up. And anyone can say whatever they want. You can have a crack at me or be negative towards me. That doesn't bother me. But it bothers my football club, you know, and I protect them first and foremost, and everybody associated with that club. We've got a lot of things to be grateful for and to be positive about the game. And I know, you know, right now maybe the national team and whatever. I spoke to to Fritz this morning and Tommy Samani. You know, they're working hard. They want to make a difference. You know, the people up top have to understand it and get their house in order, right? That's got to change, and the sooner the better. And I don't know how that's going to happen, but I have asked for a meeting with those guys to try and, you know, bring the two together, the only professional football club and the federation, and forget about all these, you know, scenarios where everyone's worried about themselves. Worry about the game. The game's the most important thing. At the forefront of everything, it's the game. And until people start taking away their selfishness and understanding that it is about the game and how do we move the game forward, only then will you start to really reach, you know, greater heights. That's all I can say, mate. I don't want to go. You're starting to get me fired up about that.
What's been the major issue for you on that? Just since you brought it up, what's been the major issue in that regard?
Look, I don't speak to the federation. The people at the federation, there's a couple of people that I've spoken to, but they know where they stand. The people that preside that organisation or that federation, they need to really, you know, think about the game and the players, because there are some damn good footballers, not just in this country but playing overseas as well, who deserve a lot better, right? And there are some people who are very successful in this country as well, right? Someone has an opportunity in this country to be a flag bearer or to be the godfather of football if they want to. And you need investment. I'm not going to lie here. It's no different to Australia. Everybody talks about investment. But we certainly, as a football club, you know, have a vision, I do, about the game going forward. And if we can work together, who knows how far the game can go here. But someone's got to actually, you know, take the bull by its horns and say, okay, I'm going to do this. Who wants to step up? I don't know. But there's some good people here that want to improve the game. Damn good people, and the game deserves to improve in this country.